A very good afternoon. Welcome to Farm Kenya. And today we are turning ponds to profit. And better yet, we have a better method apart from ponds. Of course, in Kenya, the most fish come from the wild catches and stuff like those. But the more and more demand for fish in Kenya prompts farmers to feed into that demand by coming up with clever ways of rearing fish. The first one, obviously, that everybody knows is ponds, but there is another one that is the RAS. Our guest today will unpack that. The one that you see in tanks and everything is the most modern, and we'll unpack that for us today. We'll talk about fish and the sector at large, how to venture into it. Of course, it's capital intensive, but the profits will fit the intents of that capital. So we'll talk about that with Patrick Miner later on, but we start at City Shamba and watch this interesting fish story.
Today we meet a young and passionate fish farmer who is making waves in aquaculture. He begins by introducing himself and sharing a little about who he is.
My name is Eugene. I'm Muhaya Kayavili from City Shamba. Today I want to take you through fish farming. That's my perfection. Hapa City Shamba, hiyo ndo perfection yangu. So leo ndo I take through fish farming.
Like many young people venturing into agribusiness, his journey into fish farming was driven by a unique inspiration. He now shares what motivated him to take this bold step into aquaculture.
So fish pond, unajua ni rare sana huku mtaani, si unaona? Watu wanaonanga labda kufish labda ukue uko hocha, juu uko na space nini. Lakini hapa minimal space unaweza rear fish. Si lazima ukue na pond hadi. Kuna kuanga na hizi containers, bado unaweza rear fish hapo, unaona. So kitu yenye ile ni inspire ku rear fish ni kitu moja tu, kutafuta do. Unaona. Mavijana huko mtaani wanakosa do, lakini ukiona hii idea kidogo unaweza anza bora get do. Hiyo ndio ile ni inspire, unaona. Alafu bado kuna time wase huku mtaani wanakosa chakula, unaona. Ukifish hivi kidogo hadi kazi inatokea ndogo. Kuna household wanaweza pata keroma hapa, si ndio? Daily hadi ukishika fish 2 unasaidia wale wasamta. Na kuboost protein. Unajua kuna protein zingine hapo hivyo wase wanakosa mtaani, lakini wakikuja hapo ni wafishie 2. At least huo mtoi ameboost nini. Juu hadi mimi penye nimegrow, kuna time hadi fish ilikuwa inaonekana once. Unaona? Labda mkoro akienda soko ndo umepata fish, lakini saa hii at least wale ama neighbor wangu wanaweza kula fish. At least nimesaidia community to get some protein. Sawa sawa kwa nutritious, unaona? Hivyo tu.
Every successful farming journey has a beginning. He now takes us back to when he first ventured into fish farming and how the journey has evolved over the time.
Sijakawia sana, nimeanza 5 years ago. Nilianza na containers, hizi drums. Tulikuwa tumezikata juu na nilikuwa na rea nini peke yake, catfish only. Cause hapo ndani unajua drums ukiwa mtaani huwezi lea tilapia. Tilapia ina need maji fresh. Lakini hiyo catfish inaweza survive. Hiyo ni all weather, ni rough. Hiyo unaweza bado food ya catfish unaweza ipata rahisi than hizi unajua ni delicate, lazima ukue hapo uziangalie, bado zina need usafi na maintenance kadhaa, unaona hivyo. Sasa unasikia experience niligain through hizi manini hizi time yenye tunaendanga hizi kama hizi community based initiative hizi za capacity building. Unaenda na train na farmer mwenye specialize kwa hizi, unaona. At least wewe pia unaona hii ni potential, naweza anzisha kitu kama hii na bado nilipe nikingojeanga ku get farm big, naweza anzia hapa, unaona. Sasa hiyo ndio kitu ilini inspire nianze stuff kama hizi. Ziko delicate but at the end uko success, ziko na do. Una get more than catfish, una rare, lakini kwa market jo huwezi pata do fiti.
He explains his choice of species and gender.
Sasa una rare according to condition, unaona. Condition yenye huko, unaona. Bado venye unaweza get maji. Kuna some species huwezi zirea hivi, unaona. Zina need space, bado zina nini mingi sana. Na hiyo ni do capital ni kiasi, unaona. So capital niko nayo at least kwa species yenye hadi imeomoka zaidi. Yani naweza sema yenye iko na standards. Hii ndio naweza lea kulingana na doze yenye niko na bana.
The young fisherman explains the importance of the fish net.
Hapa ni 300 per square meters. 300 per square meters, yeah. And it's 1 to 2 deep meter, feet deep. Hizo 300 per, 300 square meters inaweza rea 1500 fingerlings. Yeah, inaweza take 1500 fingerlings. Na hizo at least zitakuwa na space, yani spacing yake itakuwa fine. Population hiyo space iko sawa. Hadi breeding zinaweza fanya according kwa hiyo size nimekuambia, unaona. At the moment niko na 400 to 300, yani 300 to 400 hapo sahi. Na unaona sahi na do monosex. Monosex na rea male peke yake. Cause sahi sina namna ya kuchange, sina mode ya kuchange, yani ni rea hizo za female, yani zote. Juu female zitazaana, population itakuwa high, unaona. Na kulingana na ufuko bana, siwezi zirea ndakuwa nimeziachanisha. Kuwa na kiasi, unajua fish farming hii kama sahi fish moja ikiwa na 700 grams, sahi kwa market inauzwa 200, unaona. So at least ukuwe na kiasi lakini wako na quality na quantity, umeona. Sasa ina rea monosex na at least hapo kwa story na population nimecut. Na kama kulikuwa na ile female ilibaki, ndio ni maana nimeintroduce catfish moja. Inapita na hizo zenye zinazaliwa.
Feeding plays a major role in successful fish farming, directly affecting growth and productivity. He now explains the feeding schedule he follows to ensure his fish remain healthy and mature.
Chakula nachanganyisha. Sometimes I use azola, ni plant ingine iko ni hiyo ni ina boost protein. Natumia azola ama algae, ama naenda kubai choga, unajua choga? Ama zile daga small fish, zile mabakisho hizi zenye umeona hapa. Hizo ndo natumianga. Na one fish ikiwa hivi hii size, hii ni 4 months, yeah? Ikiwa hii size inakula I think inakula 30%. Yani hiyo ni karibu 550 grams samaki moja. Na ndo ifikisha 550 grams na hizi feed early in the morning na evening.
Eugene now shares how a typical day looks like.
So unaona hapa hivi hapa niko katikati ya nini mingi, unaona farm mingi, so unaona hapa kuna ma greenhouse, kuna nini. So lazima kutakuwa na uchafu itaingia hapa. So early in the morning nikiamka, the first thing nakujanga kuangalia huku kando. Kuna manyazi fulani natoa bado hizi mauchafu zingine. Alafu kitu ya pili ni kuangalia feed za hizo samaki. Lazima uzieke outside, zitake air kidogo at least. Si lazima utoe huku kizipatia. Kuna venye unazitoka outside zitoe air kidogo, unaona.
Water quality is a key factor in fish farming, and proper management is essential for healthy stock. He now explains why regular water changes are important in maintaining a good environment for the fish.
Hapa niko na advantage because hapa hivi tunafanya aquaponic na hydroponics. So hii maji, that pump yenye unaiona pale, hii maji inavurutwa for ikifika 3 weeks. Unajua hawa wanachafua sana. Hawa wanachafua, wanatoanga mostly nitrogen. Wakishachafua hii maji sana, ndio maana iko hii kala. Tuna pumping kwa greenhouses. Hizo ni kuboost nini za greenhouse, nutrients za greenhouse. Sasa ndo nile na pumping nikirudisha maji ingine naleta ingine to the tap. Sasa hiyo ni kusupply oxygen kwa maji. At least hii maji iko balance, iko na oxygen. Sasa nafanyanga from a period of 1 to 2 weeks. Hii maji ka imekaa 2 weeks hivi, 3 weeks na change.
Like any agribusiness, fish farming comes with its own set of challenges. He now shares some of the difficulties he has faced along the way and how they have affected his farming journey.
Sometimes ukido fishing, kuna sometimes na kujanga kupima samaki wangu mimi mwenyewe. Natoa mmoja, unaangalia kuna wengine wanakonga huku kwa mdomo, kuna venye kuna masosi. Na kuna mwingine, huyo sasa unamwekea mark. After ushamwangalia hivi utajua kuna disease fulani, maybe unaweza introduce medication ama uite specialist. Hao ndo saa ujua. Na bado hapo kwa growth ndo ujue huyu samaki yako healthy. Ukimtoa hivyo huyu mwenye umeweka mark, sawa? Ukimtoa ndani ya maji unammesha, unaona last time alikuwa na 350 grams. Sasa hii before feeding, unafanya before feeding, ameongeza some grams, unajua yenyewe huyo kuna kitu nafanya. Lakini ukipata last time alikuwa 350 sasa 250, kuna shida mahali. Competition ya processed food, man. Mtu anaenda kubuy fish ya mkebe, ndauza saa ngapi fish fresh? Umeona? Canned fish, unaona? Ndio hizo ndo ma competition. Bado nini? High cost of living. Bado inanisumbua hapa, unaona? Hakuna venye mtu atakuwa na 70 bob kwa mfuko, akuje kubuy fish, ataenda kubuy skuma. Unaona high cost of living venye inanisumbua. Bado kuna nini taxes bado. Unaona? Kwa mafarmers wa fish bado kuna mataxes Sasa hizo ndo zinasumbua bado. Na raise capital masaa zingine.
At the end of every farming venture, profitability is a key measure of success. He now talks about the return he has made from fish farming and whether the venture has been financially rewarding.
Sasa hapa hivi ndani sahi. Hapa mainly mimi kwa sahi unajua siuzi hizi samaki. At least tulipata space. Sahi tuna work na OC. So mostly zenye zinakuwa more za hizi tunapea OC wa booster. Kuna venye wana boost nini diet huko hivyo ya watoi. Hizi zenye tunafahamu hapa Mama Lucy. Lakini zikiwa unajua kuna zenye OC watatake na kuna zenye sana ndaenda kwa market nitauza. So market ni mingi. Kuna household huko nikienda mtaani niwaambie, manzejo fish zangu zimegrow. Wataniulize sunilete mbili. Mwingine information ikipass hivyo utapata nimeuza mtaani hizo fish. At least nimepata machange zingi.
Eugene shares his parting shot as he gives his preference between lake fish and pond fish in terms of nutrients.
Lakini acha nikuambie kitu moja. Hizi nazifeed protein. Za lake zinapata proteins venye zinajua. Siwezi jua mtu feed. So kama ni proteins unatafuta kwa hiyo food, hizi za pond ziko nayo. Unaona? Za pond ziko nayo, bado ya lake iko nayo. So labda tuseme tu ni yani hiyo ni kitu yenye watu wamejiwekea kwa mind. Kwanza unaona kuanza kitu usiweka kwa mind ati ndaanzisha. Piga hiyo effort. Najua naweza mwambia anzisha na labda bado hajajipanga, unaona? Hadi kwa hiyo nimekuambia hadi mimi nilianzia kwa debe. Unaona kwa hizo ma drums. Hizo ndo nilianzia huko kwa base fulani, hadi kuna mapicha tulikuwa tunarea ndani ya drums. So kuanzisha kitu ni wewe mwenyewe jitume tu. Na bidii yako. Na bado unaweza reach ma specialist, unaona? Bado mimi niko naenda hizi ma training. Ukisikia training ya fish farming usilenge, wewe enda tu. Unaweza toa hapo idea yenyewe uone yenyewe, kumbe nakunga nimekazia nini yangu maanzishe. Na bado wengine wanaweza kuja huku training. Mimi ni youth kama hao. Anaweza pata space ni mtrain. Alafu yeye mwenyewe aende kujisort huko kwa community. Wase wanaweza get hapo kwa City Shamba. Social media ndo zote ni at City Shamba. Hapo ndo unaweza nipata, bado utapata namba yangu, bado utoe hapo.
Boy, KTN.
Welcome back again. My name is Kelly Boss and this is Farm Kenya. And today we are turning ponds into profit, and better yet, we have a modern method of, keeping or rearing fish in Kenya. And remember, this market, especially when you're talking fish or the meat that comes out of the fish, tell me how it's called in the comment section. I'm not afraid to say I don't know, but I just know I eat fish, yeah? It's white meat, and that's enough. So there is another method of rearing fish that is much more modern, and it's, better return on investment, that is called the RRS. And today I'm being joined by Patrick Maina, or Patrick Mundia, better yet, yeah?
Yeah.
You like Mundia more than Maina?
Mine is my surname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick.
Yes.
The most interesting reason why I have you here is the RAS method.
Yeah.
But kindly introduce yourself kidogo, and then we talk about this RAS method of rearing fish.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm Patrick Mundia. I work with Kamudanga Farm Limited.
Okay.
Kamudanga Farm is a farm located in Machakos County.
Yeah.
And we do fish farming as the main business.
Yeah.
We grow 3 types of fish. We do tilapia, we do catfish,
Yeah.
and we also do ornamental fish.
Yeah.
But 80% of our production is on tilapia,
Right.
because of course it's the most preferred fish in Kenya and in East Africa at large.
Right.
And we grow our fish in a very unique way.
Okay.
The system is known as a RAS system.
Okay.
It's an acronym for Recirculating Aquaculture System.
Right.
Which is the most modern way of growing fish.
Yeah. Why is it modern? Because, of course, demand is being fed so much with wild catches. It come maybe in the lakes and everything. And then there is ponds. Where does this fit in? And what is the interesting thing about RAS?
Okay, RAS falls under aquaculture.
Okay.
Because there are 2 main sources of fish within Kenya, which can be one, the wild catch,
okay,
from our lakes and our rivers,
yeah,
and also from now farming of the product,
yeah,
which is now aquaculture.
Yeah.
So RAS falls under aquaculture.
Yeah.
If you look at the latest statistics, is the wild capture fisheries is still leading in total fish that goes to the market,
yeah,
with slightly above 150 metric tons, then followed with aquaculture,
yeah,
which is doing around 20 to 30 metric tons.
Yeah.
So in combination, we have less than 200 metric tons,
yeah,
of fish that is we are getting. Comparing this to what we call the per capita fish consumption, what you're supposed to eat per year.
Yeah.
So in the wild, per capita consumption in the world is around 20 kilograms.
Yeah.
So this way you take the total fish that is available, you divide by the total population, and you see that everyone is supposed to be taking around 20 kilos of fish per year.
Yeah.
When it comes to Africa, it's around 10 kilos per year. And Kenya, we are very much lagging behind. We are doing around 4 kilos per year.
Yeah.
I should ask you how many kilos you have taken so far.
Of fish?
We're in June.
Of fish?
Yes, yes.
A lot of kilos.
A lot of kilos.
Yes, yes.
But of course, with our current population,
yeah,
a lot of people don't even have even a piece of fish,
yeah,
per year.
Yeah.
So if you look at that, and we are targeting to maybe do 10 kilos per year times the population we have, you'll get to see we have a deficit of over 500 metric tons of fish,
yeah,
in the country.
Yeah.
So the wild fish is going down. People have harvested a lot of it.
Yeah.
We don't have sustainable measures of making sure that we have continuous supply of fish from our wild,
yeah,
or the capture fisheries, I mean.
Yeah.
So aquaculture is standing up to be a good solution to create the balance between the demand and what is available. And that's why you'll see in the recent past, we have a lot of cage farming that has sprouted in the lake region.
Yeah.
It's still under aquaculture, and they are trying to fill the gap by taking advantage of the lake,
yeah,
because it's an already ecosystem. You just drop your cage, put your fish in, and then now you can feed them, and then after some times you harvest and sell.
Yeah.
But not everyone is around a lake.
Yeah.
Machakos, we have a challenge of water. So for areas like Machakos and other inland areas,
yeah,
where you are not exposed to a large water body,
yeah,
you can either do pond farming, and from the Kenya Fisheries Service, you'll see we have over 70,000 ponds, yeah, in Kenya, yeah, but the production of pond is still also very low, okay, because of a lot of other challenges that, yeah, are within that space. Yeah. And that's why a RAS system comes in handy. Okay. Because if you look at the map of Kenya, 80% of Kenya is arid or semi-arid. Right. So these areas, the northeastern areas, some part of the eastern part of Kenya, is arid or semi-arid. Yeah. And I will tell you for sure, these are the areas with the highest potential of growing fish, right, because of the the climate they have.
Okay.
It's very warm.
Yeah.
Some of these areas have huge underground water reserve. And also some of these areas are very spacious.
Okay.
Yeah, and RAS system comes in to take care of some of these challenges that the pond are having.
Okay.
For example, water challenge.
Okay.
For a pond, you need a lot of water because there's a lot of exchange of this water after some times during the production period. Filling the pond, like an ideal pond in Kenya is around 300 square meters.
Right.
That's a pond of 30 meters by 10 meters.
Yeah.
So 300 square meters with a height of 1 meter, you need 300,000 liters.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people are have the luxury of this amount of water, and then you need to change it regularly within the production period of around 8 months.
Yeah.
So RAS system is where now you recirculate the water, you clean the water, and the water comes back to fish.
Yeah.
So with that, we say we have over 90% reduction on water use.
Right.
And that's why we are very successful, even in Machakos, producing a lot of fish that we're able to meet some part of Machakos town and also Nairobi market.
Right. Interesting. You say fish do well in arid areas. That's interesting for me. And of course, I consider Machakos arid and semi-arid. That's a jab. But again, when you mention ponds, I have PTSD from high school. I remember one time my friend was having his birthday. So I poured a lot of water on him. But when my birthday came, walinitupa kwa pond ya shule. So niko na PTSD kidogo. But at least not tunaongelea RS. We are not going to talk about ponds as much. But fish farming, because of umeniuliza nimekula fish kiasi gani. Nimesema tu mob because that is what came up off the top. But most of the time when you make some bread, you don't go home saying naenda kukula fish. Because fish inakuanga premium. Unasemanga naenda kula kanyama. You know, na nyama iko below fish. So fish, it's very capital intensive. At the same time, it has a very premium market. Talk to me about how you enter into it, how you entered into it. How much capital would someone need to get in through that path? And is it too much, but are the profits worth it?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Because yes, depending on the system that you're going to go for.
Yeah.
If you are next to a lake, you can do a cage.
Yeah.
If you're not next to a lake, you're inland, you can do a pond.
Yeah.
You can also do a RAS system.
Yeah.
So depending on the system you're going to go for, it also determines the capital expenditure for your project.
Okay.
RAS system are a bit expensive at the capital expenditure side of it.
Yeah.
It's very, very capital intense. But
one tank is how much?
One tank, our tank, for me to put some perspective on it, we have tanks that are 50 square meters or 50 cube per tank, 50,000 liters.
Yeah.
So with this tank of 50,000 liters, there are components that you need to install.
Okay.
So one of the components is the aeration system.
All right.
We are putting a lot of fish in a very small area. In a pond system, for every 1,000 liters, you're supposed to grow 4 fish.
Okay.
Yeah, we say in terms of kilo, 1.5 kilos per 1,000 liters.
Yeah.
That's the maximum carrying capacity.
Yeah.
In a RAS system, we do 120 fish in the same volume.
In the same 1,000? In
the same 1,000 liters.
You do 100?
120
fish. Right.
So a RAS system is over 100 times more productive than a pond
system.
And since you're putting a lot of fish in a very small area, you also need to add oxygen to the water because for a pond, when you're doing 4 fish, scientifically, it is calculated that the oxygen carried within the 1,000 liters of water is sufficient only to sustain the 4 fish. But now we are putting 120 fish. So we have a deficit of oxygen for almost 116 fish.
Yeah.
So we have to pump in. And this is what we call the aeration system.
Right.
That's one of the components. The other component is the waste removal.
Yeah.
So in the process of producing fish, we are feeding them.
Okay.
After feeding them, they release their waste. There are 2 types of fish waste. We have the dissolved waste. This is the urine of the fish. which is the nitrogenous-based waste, ammonia.
Right.
And then we have the solid waste, the poop from the fish.
Yeah.
So in a pond setup, this is taken care of by changing the water, and also where you get algae growing in the water. So most of these ponds are always green because of the nitrogen waste from the fish, which will encourage algae to grow, and also the dilution effect within the pond. But now in a RAS system, you have to have a filter system.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go to Sauti ya Mkulima and come back and put more meat to bone on this ponds to profits conversation. Welcome back. Patrick, sorry I interrupted you right there, but we had to, follow the rundown, as we call it, technically. But they're laughing on my ears. But you were talking about the RAS system.
Yeah, the components.
That on pond farming, you have per 1,000 liters, you get 4 fish.
You're supposed to grow
around 4 fish.
Because
because
the target
of the
is
oxygen.
1.5 kilograms per.
Right.
Yeah.
On RAS system, you get 120 fish in that same space because you do something about oxygen.
Yes, so we have to do the aeration to provide oxygen for the extra fish. We also need to do the filtration, removal of the waste, and this is the waste I was explaining to you. We have 2 types. We have the ammonia, which is the urine of the fish, and then we have the fecal waste from the fish. So you have to have filters to remove all this waste because you are putting a lot of fish in a very small area. Yeah. So and these are the main component of a RAS system: the aeration, the biofilter, and the sedimentation tanks. So a 50,000 liter tank is able to carry 160. It's able to carry 120 fish per 1,000 liters. So for the whole tank, we put around 6,000 pieces.
Right.
6,000 pieces, and we are able to grow them to 500 grams. So we are able to harvest 3,000 kilos from one tank.
Right.
And this tank with all the components, the capital expenditure will be around 3 million per tank. And with a production of 4 months, every 4 months, we're able to get 3,000 kilos because we grow a fish from 50 grams to 500 grams in 4 months. So the 3,000 a kilo, we are also able to sell them at a price of around 650 a kilo. At the moment, is the first time that fish white meat is cheaper than beef. Yes, beef in most places is around above 700 shillings. But fish we are selling at 650. But in the same market, we have other farmers who sell their fish at 300 shillings a kilo, 400 shillings a kilo. But we're able to sell our fish at a premium price. So if you multiply the total production times the value per kilo, you get in 2 years, you'll be able to recoup your capital expenditure. Yes.
That's well said.
Yeah.
And ni maribu market ama nini, because now fish is 650, nyama is much more, inakonga somewhere 800. Is it that demand haijashuka first of all? Is it that there's a lot of supply?
First of all, us selling our fish at 650 is at a premium price.
Right.
We are able to make sure our fish it is in a state that it will demand for a premium price. So we do a lot of certification of our product. We are the only farm that is certified by African Union through a body known as ARSO that certify agricultural product, including fish. On 2 areas in issues of sustainability, our impact to the environment, and also the quality of that product. And we got platinum level for this. And this and other certificates that we have for this product, they help us to make sure we grow a premium product and we can go into the market and demand for a premium price. In the market where also other farmers are selling their fish at 300, 400 shillings, we're able to get a premium price. Now when you put that into context vis-a-vis the meat, I think there's a shortage in supply of beef in the market.
Okay.
That has led to increase in uptake of fish, but also increase the price of meat as a whole,
right,
and making fish to come slightly lower for the first time. It's just that we have that shortage of beef, and we are happy as farmers. We are able to get very good pricing for our fish.
Very good pricing. And you know, one of the things kwanza umenishtua hapo hivyo, I didn't know samaki zinakojoa. Say that is what you clean up the pond for. And that is that's new for me, right? But you talked about being up to standards with some of the bodies that you know, make your fish quality. How important is that, especially for our wider conversation of getting into business and young people getting into agribusiness and business at large? You know, there is usual standardization that if your company is up to standards, and there's the what are they called, SDGs, you know, those things, like you go to KEBS, get your ISO whatevers and everything. How important is that for a business, and how good is it to open the market, one, and two, to find an investor?
It's a very important step.
Just shortly, so that we can go back to
it's a very
fish.
important step that every farmer should be eyed on, because it's a point where you are able to improve the quality of your product. Because us getting this certification is a process. We had to meet over 300 points for us to achieve this certification, and there's issues of surveillance and compliance that we are always complying to get this. So this has a huge advantage. One, it gives us confidence to approach any market. I can walk to Kempinski with my fish, and I go there, they give me a list of requirements, what they need. I meet those requirements. After meeting those requirements, I am able to give any value for my fish, because I'm able to meet the kind of requirements they have. So it gives me confidence to approach any market. It also gives me room to sell my fish at any price. And because it's a premium product, I'm able to command a premium pricing on it. Then it opens us, we are qualified to supply to EU market, and it's one of the biggest market that any farmer can. So it also gives you market access. There are people who cannot stand at Mama Samaki on the road and buy fish. They want some standard on the product they are getting. So this is what we are able to offer as Kamudanga.
And that's what I wanted to get out of you. And it's not like I knew about it, now I know. That you meet the standards and open up market. You don't have a ceiling for your market. The EU market, which is premium, you can export and stuff like those. So working on standards as you grow your business is very important. That you work in a room very confidently. Now let's shift focus a little bit. It's interesting that when you're talking about housing on fish, on fish farming, there is no house, there is a pond, or now RAS method. At least RAS looks like a house now, you know. But now let's talk about feeds. What is like your feeding routine on fish, especially in that RAS method? Is this the same like pond, or and how does the RAS method also help with feeding? Is there something different with feeding on a pond and RAS?
That's a very important question, because when it comes to feed, this is where the rubber meets the road. For any business, especially fishery hapa kwa chakula, the most important place, because if you get it wrong, you'll never get your returns. And we say a good fish business should be giving you 30 to 40% profit margin. And for you to achieve that, you must be very keen on issues to do with feed. So for feeds, it carries around 60 to 70% of our cost of production. And with this, we have to, one thing, because we are intensive farming, ours is intensive. We do in houses, the whole value chain from the parents to incubation of eggs, the hatching of the eggs, all the way to maturity. The whole process is intensive. And we really say for intensive farming, you must use commercial feeds. We don't encourage you to go and do your own feed formulation. Why? Because one, we don't have the expertise of fish. We are not fish nutritionists. So we don't know what ingredient to add to what ingredient to get a balanced diet. And we don't even have labs to test these ingredients. And some of these ingredients in our market, they are adulterated. Like now, if you go to buy ochonga from the lake in Machakos, over 60% of that ochonga is sand.
Okay.
Because Machakos people cannot differentiate ochonga and sand. Yeah. So when you buy that as an ingredient and you're using it to make your feed, now you are at some part of it is sand and you're feeding to fish. You see, and it has no nutrition value to it. So we really encourage people to use commercial feeds. And if it's commercial feed, we use a tool that is known as FCR, food conversion ratio. The ability of your fish to convert the feed that you're giving it to weight. Yes. So our food conversion ratio is between 1.3 to 1.5. It means we need 1.5 on the higher side, 1.5 kilos of feed for us to produce 1 kilo of fish. Yes. Yeah. So with that, and we know the value of feed, we can say this is the cost of the feed. But having the feed is one thing, because you're going for quality feed, but using it is another thing. How are you using this feed? How do you find the right amount to give your 6,000 fish at 200 grams? How many times are you feeding them per day? The matching of feed, fish feed has categories in terms of particles. So there's the powder one that graduates all the way to a feed we call the 4 millimeter. There are 7 categories. So when do you know which category to use? So all this we have been able to learn the skill and the knowledge as a farm, and that's why we have an institution known as Aquaculture Academy, where we train farmers on the best practices. So you come, we'll take you through what we do. We're very successful in what we do. We give you our experience. This is the best feed to use. This is how you're using it, and this is what you'll get at the end of the day.
Nice. Already you're teaching me a lot, so that should be some game that give farmers. But I want us to touch on now how you source for fingerlings and stuff like this.
So Kamudanga Farm is built in such a way that it has all the value chain components in the same area. So the production value chain starts from our parents. So we have our own way of getting quality parents. We import our males from Europe. These males have a very big advantage. They are YY. So why we import them? Because in fish business, tilapia business, you're supposed to grow all male. Because male grow faster and they become bigger. And it's a business of numbers and also time. How long is your fish taking? Like for example, if you're in this business and your fish is taking 1 year, 4 months to get to 500 grams, and my fish is taking 4 months, I'm in more business than you are. Numbers again. If you are doing 4 fish per meter cube and I'm doing 120, you are out of the game. You see. So for you to have fish that are growing very well, this is tilapia, because 80% of our production is tilapia. You're supposed to grow all male. All of them, they should be male, because male grow faster and become bigger, and also when you have them combined, they end up reproducing other than growing. So they waste a lot of energy in reproduction other than increasing in weight. So we're able to have males that can only sire males. They cannot sire females. So these are the males that we import, and then we select very good quality females locally. So the males give us the attribute of 1, they are all the young ones will get all males, and then 2, they grow very fast. And then from the females, we get females locally that have the characteristics of resistance to our ecological extremes, maybe like now in the cold season, and then also disease resistance and those kind of things. And we end up getting a quality fingerlings that we take through our hatchery, because we have our hatchery that is able to produce over 1 million fingerlings per month, which we sell to a lot of farmers. We are connected to over 10,000 farmers customers.
Oh, nice.
Yes, across the country where we sell our quality fingerlings, and then now from there, it produced to the nursery, and then from the nursery to the final stage of production, which we call the grout, and now we get it mature. And then now we take it to the final stage where we enhance the taste. I don't know if you have ever heard people say, no, farmed fish is not as tasty as
of course, wild fish is tastier than farm fish.
We are very sorry as farmers, because initially farmers were doing that mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were taking fish direct from a production system. If that farmer is doing it in another pond, and he takes the fish direct to the market, the taste will be muddy. So taking fish from production to the market, now the taste will be off because of the production impurities.
Yeah.
So we have the last stage, which we call the purging stage, where we enhance the taste.
Right.
So we starve the fish for a period of around 7 days. So, and it is in clean water, so they release all these impurities. So by the time you're getting it into your plate, the fish is very tasty. And that's the final stage. Now from there is processing, and we sell the fish through our own outlets under the name Everything Fish, or through other clients that we are selling our fish to, restaurants and retail market within the country.
You violate their rights in the final 7 days. Amzipei chakula, that is one way of making it sweeter. Another thing you said there was you import all males. Apo against the gender equality. But it works. What works. But that's so interesting. Very, very good information from you. And I'm learning a lot just from this, and I'm hoping the audience is also learning that all male, that's first of all you import for farming, and it's also because they'll not take a lot of time in reproducing. And then pia ikifika mwisho kama unataka ikwe tamu unazistarve. No human rights. Usifikirie hizo story, fish itakuwa mbaya, fish itakuwa nyasi. Anyway, but now let's talk about shortly about how you handle diseases, and then you'll tell me about your market.
Okay. So about diseases and parasites, first of all, as a farm, we have a very strict biosecurity protocol. This helps us to control any introduction of new parasite or any disease-causing pathogen into the farm. So fish have a very robust immune system. It's very hard for a fish to get sick. And that's why you'll walk to any agrovet and you ask for fish related fish diseases drugs, and you will find none. Because the only thing you're supposed to do is to, because most of these diseases, yes, they are there. We have bacterial diseases, we have viral diseases, we have fungal diseases, but they will only attack the fish when the fish are under stress. They're opportunistic. And for the fish to be stressed is maybe environmental. You are missing some parts within, maybe oxygen is not enough, temperature is not good, the pH, the environment, the water, the water quality. It can be that. It can be also be a nutritional deficiency kind of a disease. It can be handling, how you're handling that. So as a farm, we have a robust way of controlling this. We have documented the possible diseases that we can get. Like during the cold season, there's chances for those fish that are outside, because our farm is around 1600 meters above sea level, it gets colder during this period. So we have to move them inside. Otherwise, the water will fall to below 20 degrees, and the fish start getting sick because they're out of their environmental. So we know possible diseases that we can, and what is the causative, and then we are able to control that. And also for the parasite, we have measures to control this.
And then speaking about the, I'm learning a lot today, Patrick. Speaking about the market, how you've talked about selling fingerlings. Do you also, unajua pia kama unauza samaki 650, pia unaweza enda hapo kwenye tunanunuanga 1200, ukuwe umefungua yako. Do you add value or something?
No. So for the market, we have a wide spectrum of market, and we are lucky we have a huge market that we can also not meet the demand, the niche that I was telling you about, and it cuts across restaurant. We have walk-in people coming to the farm. We have an on-farm restaurant with even an accommodation area. People come there for agro-tourism and all that. We access market in Nairobi, Machakos. We can do export and all that. And when it comes to fingerlings, we are open to have any farmer coming to buy fingerlings and all that. But the beauty of it is that fish demand is always higher than the supply. Yeah, it's just you positioning yourself for any market to access any market, depending on what you're targeting. Yeah. So for the fingerlings all the way to maturity, we have access to market. And for anyone who is coming through our training, we're able to expose you to this market. It's just that unfortunately we cannot take fish from other farmers for now, because for that fish to be sold in the market that we supply, they have to meet this standard. But we are working out something to have an aggregation point, like what they do in the milk industry. So we'll take the farmers, those particular farmers that we have selected. We take them through the process. This is the best practice for growing the fish. You're supposed to do this and this and this, which is aligning to the standards. And this, at the end of the day, we can take the fish and we can share the market that we have with them.
The fish, of course, fish meat per capita kilo is still low.
Very
hence
low.
Hence the demand. What are some of the regulatory maybe challenges that you face particularly, and also a person walking into this space could face, just shortly, maybe under a minute?
Okay. I'm happy at the moment. We have a very supportive government under the Ministry of Blue Economy. They are putting policies to help the sector, the sector grow, and we have a regulation that is really supporting. Although where we have issues, we are able to put across and
so hapo ndo vitu zinawaka.
Inafanya na pia wanatusikiza. Like now we have a court case on issues of hatchery authentication and all that, and they are willing to listen to us and all that. But you will need to have you need to do issues of NEMA, environmental impact assessment. You need to register your farm under Kenya Fisheries Service, under the county. Also, you need to do that.
I like that. Anyway, I don't want to throw jabs, but quick tips. Just 1-2 tips for a farmer who is starting up. Is trying to venture into fish farming, so especially RAS system.
So RAS is a bit
30 seconds.
It's a bit expensive, but it's quick money if you do it right. You have to do it right, and also it's a game of patience.
Right.
You have to be very patient.
Patrick Mundia.
Yes.
Or Maina, if you like it. Patrick, thank you so much. I've learned a lot, and I'm hoping the audience has too. That you can make up to 30 to 40%. That is profit. And Patrick here only sources male fish, and that is good because of course they don't reproduce, and that keeps the energy and it grows faster. But at the end again, Patrick here starves them for 7 days. Human fish rights violation right there, but it's good because it makes the fish taste better. So tunasemanga hiyo ni fish ya lake ati ni tamu. Ni kwa sababu huyo jamaa wa ponda hakukuwa amezistarve the last minute. But again, the RAS system is a 4 versus 120 fish per 1,000 liters. But that right there, I hope you've learned something. You can play it back on YouTube. My name is Kelly Boss. That is from Kenya.
Kuwa na uhakika sasa, kukulea stakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja.